Good day everyone, this is Faith Magbunag and I am the leader for the Lesson 10 Reporter. So our topic is the soul making, appropriation and improvisation. This slide introduces the main concept and sets the stage by defining the learning goals for the topic. So here are the learning outcomes. Explain how meanings can be derived from art. Of course, deriving meaning or discussing how meanings can be derived from art, which suggests that the interpretation of an artwork is a critical part of the art experience. So next, discuss how improvisation can make an artwork distinctive. Distinctive artwork, explaining how improvisation can make an artwork unique or distinctive. And third is identify the issues and problems that can arise because of appropriation of art. So, appropriation issues or identifying the issues and the problems that can arise because of appropriation of art. So, highlighting the ethical and legal concerns associated with borrowing from other works of art throughout history. So, art has always been essential for capturing, recording, and communicating events, activities, and traditions of various groups of people. So, even Paleolithic societies used art to record events despite of limited tools. So, it reflects things and events of the past, offering future generations a glimpse of the past. So, the role of art throughout history can be communication or can be historical record, or it is also can be used by the glimpse of the past or uh, for other generations. Art in modern society and soul making. So this slide shifts to focus to art in the contemporary world, the concept of authorship and the foundation of art appreciation. So art in modern society and the issues of authorship. First is the modern society have improved the ways and means through which art can be a communicative tool. Next is the artist as author. So, if an artwork is a channel for the artist to express narratives through symbols, then the artist is the author. So, uh, or the artist is considered to be the author. So, third is the ownership issues. So, issues on ownership and authorship had emerged. So, primarily due to the value ascribed to the viewer of the work, so um, which can lead to legal and financial disputes over who owns the creative property. So, soul making, the foundation of art appreciation. So, soul making is presented as the essential groundwork for understanding and appreciating art. So, to make sense of art, the audience must understand the visual and principles of design used in the artwork. So, the audience must have awareness of the work's style, form, and content. Without this foundational understanding, appreciating the visual arts in entirety is difficult. So, to fully appreciate and make sense of art, the audience must understand first the visual and principles of design used in the artwork. So, it is important that you have a knowledge. So, next, foundational understanding. Of course, the audience needs awareness of the work's style, form, and content. Without this foundation, fully appreciating art is very difficult. So, there are three critical components that constitute an artwork's meaning. So, this section breaks down the elements a viewer must consider to fully perceive an artwork. So, often visualized as hierarchy. So, group yun siya, no? So, the content, form, and style. So, first, style. So, the specific manner, distinctive technique, or characteristics way in which the artist expresses themselves. So, next is the form. So, the overall structure, organization or physical qualities of the work. So it includes medium, composition, and scale. So third is the content. So the subject matter, themes, symbols, or underlying meaning the artwork attempts to convey. So note, the viewer must consider the totality of these elements, or the hierarchy, or the style, form, and content. So motifs and composition to fully understand or perceive the artwork.
Good day everyone, my name is Axel G. Election. I will discuss about the improvisation. Improvisation is doing something without prior preparation. It's an action taking upon something that may not necessarily be planned. It has become an integral part of the arts, often viewed as a reaction against the stiffness and monotony in the arts during the 20th century. To rekindle the creative spirits of people and often liberation from monotony. So, improvisation is like imprunto nimo gibuhat ang usa ka arts. Walay plano na imong gihimo. In other words, on the spot yun nimo siya gihimo. Ang usa ka arts through your imagination, diri mo gawas kung usa ka creative na tao. So, and also, improvisation is an important part of many art forms. It can help people to be a creative and feel free from boredom. The distinctive quality of improvisation. Infusing spontaneity and improvisation adds to the totality of the work of art. The unexpectedness of the changes ruled about the improvisation gives the artwork a distinctive quality that creates individuality and identity. Artists may intentionally allow changes, unpredictable elements like natural phenomena, a storm or meteor shower in the process, recognizing they may not have absolute control which can lead to totally different results than expectedness. So, adding spontaneity and improvisation to art makes it more complete and interesting. Unexpected twist that enhance the overall experience. So, for example of this is natural phenomena like storm or meteor shower. So if the artist paint that ganang natural phenomena, expected na ginalahi ang kinalabasan ato kung saan nahitabo ato sa natural phenomena. So through their art sa pagpaint na natural phenomena, nag-ilang i-apply ang improvisation which is impromptu or parang ilang own imagination para mabuo tong paint sa meteor shower. So mo na siya ang improvisation. Improvisation in modern arts. Improvisation is evidenced in the process of making the work where the artist might deviate from their original plan. Happenings during the 1960s in New York City, arts improvisation led to happening performance that combine performance art, dance, and visual arts, which later inspired modern body arts and performance arts. So in modern arts, improvisation show up when ang artist iyang gi-change iyang plan while creating. So during the 1960s in New York City, naigitawag na performance which happening mo nang nasa example diya sa diya sa kilid kanang picture mo na siya ang performance art. Gitawag siya performance arts because mix siya sa performance arts, dance, and visual arts. And also ang artist ani ilang gi express ilang kaugalingon through their body and action. Ano siya?
So, good evening everyone. My name is Kugay Dexter L from B Scream 2B. So, now I will discuss about action painting. So, action painting example by Groupman. George Matthew was a central figure who started action painting where process is seen in real time and is considered more important than the finished product. So, ang action painting is marag actual siya Then yung murag kailangan siya magpaint ka, dapat imong idali. Then ang key concept and impacts of action painting is, first is improvisation allows for a certain extent of freedom for the artist and lets the subjects perform and embody the artwork itself. So it means that ang subject is nasa sa kuan, kanang imo ra siyang ginatanaw, then imo ra siyang ginakopya. Then second is it allows the artist to explore and invites the audience to be a part of the work in itself. So kung makakita mo kung nay sa ka-artist din iyang mangita siya kuan sa ka stranger din iyang i-appeal sa iyang pag-paint. Then third is improvisation is a revolutionary concept that blurs the line of reality and that imagination. So it means that kaning ginablur, kaning halap siya ng linya, then pero sa reality murag gina-imagine lang sa ka artist. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Shane Ciabello. Today I am going to discuss about art appropriation. So let's start. Art appropriation, artists promote the idea that authorship relies on the viewer, not the artist, promoting the question of who truly owns the artwork, rather the artist or the audience. So the artist owns the art. The artist created it, they spend time, skill, and creativity. So legally and traditionally the artist owns the artwork and the viewer owns the meaning, because appropriation artist believes that the meaning of the artwork depends on how the viewer interpret it. So example of this is, imagine a painting of a sunset. An artist painted it, so they own it, but you as a viewer might see it is a peaceful, sad, or romantic. That meaning is yours. So appropriation has been common practice historically. Seen in apprentice painters copying their master's work to hone their craft and explore techniques. So apprentice is a person who is learning a skill from who is already an expert. They train under a master to improve and eventually become skilled themselves. So it involves taking as much as desired from existing artwork or getting bits and pieces of other works and incorporating these elements into a new creation. So appropriation in art involves taking elements from existing other artworks, whether it is a large portion or just a small pieces. Artists then incorporate these borrowed elements into a new creation, combining them in innovation ways to produce something entirely originally. It's akin to assembling a mosaic. Their fragments or various sources come together to form a cohesive and unique piece of art. So appropriation has a controversies of appropriation also. The main the kaning this appropriation is kanang naagiban siya agkakuan nga problema bitaw. The main issues arises when appropriation artist copies an exact artwork and attributes it into himself, to leading questions of authorship. When artists integrate others' works without dealing it, the source, the voices and perspective of the original artist get lost. The intentions of appropriation artists are often questioned issues plagiarism or forgery. There is a thin demarcation line between the two. So copying and claiming. It's problematic when an art to work.
Is ang painting, di ba? The painting of the artist, di ba? For example, is nga atong gibuhat through posting to the online or through the Facebook, di ba? We imitate the painting or the different paintings by the artist nga or by the different authors or kinsa bay nagbuhat atong mga paintings. That is the art appropriation. But in the traditional forgery, he imitate or they create lang sa mga fake news like mga document works, mga pieces of works nga nag-exist pa, di ba? Ilang ipang imitate nga without the consent to the owners of the or the others. That is the traditional forgery, or ilang mga ipang steals lang mga informations or mga documents or mga pieces of works sa ubang tao nga walay mga consent sa ilaha, di ba? Nga pwede sila makason, which is the plagiarism, because it is the imitate or the copying the works to the others without the consent of the owners. That is the forgery. That is the traditional forgery. Next one is intent, an example of Andy Warhol. So who is Andy Warhol? Andy Warhol is an appropriation artist. Often hope the audience will recognize the copied images to see the original work in a new perspective or context. So according to him, he deliberately filled up the entire picture plane with a cans which was new for the audience. So here's the famous example of Andy Warhol, which is the Campbell soap cans. So kani nga examples ni Andy Warhol, it is the symbolizing or it represents the rise of mass production, consumer culture, and the blurring lines between high art and popular culture. And then this act or these images isolated which could stimulate product recognition as a subtle form of advertising that encourages consumer patronage, diba? That is the represents the example according to Andy Warhol. So, and that's for all, and that's all about of my topics, and I hope na mo'y na sa mo ang video report according sa mong topic. So, thank you and God bless everyone.